Bam, what up, Yang Gang? Welcome back. We still got Mia here and Vivica in the house. And what do you got on the low for us today, Mia?
Okay, today we're going to be talking about Montana passing the bill that legalizes recreational marijuana in its Senate. So, yes, everybody loves when that happens.
Yeah. Smoke to that. Cheers.
Montana's Senate on Friday passed a bill to legalize recreational marijuana. The bill directs taxes on the drug to support addiction treatment and conservation efforts. It went through the House earlier this month and was passed in the upper chamber by a 34-16 margin. It will go back to the House to approve the legislation with the Senate's amendments.
Okay.
So we are in the process of getting Montana some good chronic.
Expensive chronic.
Does Montana's bill have any reparations built into it, or
it does not say, but I highly doubt it, or they probably would have highlighted it.
Right.
Unlike New York's, which you were telling us about earlier. Would you like to expand on that?
So New York, I'm still so proud of our state. Our bill is the most progressive of any of the legalization bills in that not only are they expunging all of the low level small amount of weed crimes. So if you were arrested for small amounts of marijuana at any point in time, you're having your record expunged for it and being released from jail, what have you, as well as anyone who is Black American who was disproportionately affected by the war on drugs here in New York is the first in line for the licensing when the licensing starts. So that's really exciting. So they're absolutely, and they want, I could get this wrong, but I believe that they also put in a provision for the taxes from weed sales to go back to the communities that were most disproportionate.
Yeah, that was in New York. Yeah, specific New York.
Yeah.
See, Montana's got a little different approach. They said, let's tax it naturally. So Montana actually has a 20% sales tax on recreational marijuana. And it says 6 million annually would go towards drug addiction programs. Again, marijuana is not addictive.
It's not.
So I don't understand that whole.
It's addictive, but it's not physically addictive. So,
but this makes me suspicious. Do they have people that are in line to open up addiction centers to get this money?
But also, addiction centers are really fucking dangerous because, like, okay, so it really needs to be clarified what type of addiction centers that they're actually talking about.
Right.
Because if they're talking about rehab centers, data has shown that rehab centers don't actually fucking work. What actually works is treating addiction like it actually is, which is a mental illness. And it needs to be treated from the core. And one of the causes of addiction usually tends to be loneliness and like addressing the core causes of the problem and treating people like humans and not like addicts and not like they have something morally wrong with them because society failed them is the only way to actually treat people. If you look at Portugal, that's exactly what they did, and they have not had any fucking problems.
Their crime rates dropped by like 70%. Their homicide rate went down. They legalized everything.
They legalized everything.
I support that too. I think drugs, people that use chemicals are not bad people.
No.
They're just people that are, you can't judge. If you drink alcohol, you can't judge.
You put anything in your body that isn't just water and food. Because, I mean, if you're talking about like, okay, so caffeine is actually the most addictive drug in the world. So most people have a low-lying caffeine addiction and don't even realize it. And caffeine's perfectly legal. There's alcohol addictions, which is perfectly legal. There's
smokes.
Of course, nicotine.
If you're caffeine for a day, you'll realize you're addicted to it.
Exactly. And and caffeine is in so many things. Caffeine is in chocolate, caffeine's in coffee, caffeine's in like foods that we eat. So you never know, like when you're going to be coming across, you could be eating tiramisu and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm hyped up on some coffee, right?
Yeah.
Or caffeine. So like if you were sprinkling just heroin into everything, if you like were going to a bakery and like, oh, you could just get something that had a little bit of heroin or just like a little bit of like opium on
cocaine.
something, like get some extra like poppy on there. You know what I mean? Like if that was the case, we would be treating all of these things the exact same way, and that like, oh, okay, it's not that big of a deal that you're addicted. It's not that big of, oh, ha ha ha. I remember when I was a kid, like I was a teenager, I had a caffeine addiction and we joked about it because like Mountain Dew was available to teenagers. Like how are teenagers not going to have a caffeine addiction?
Wow.
You know?
Not just available to teenagers. In my school, there were
vending machines.
Advertised to teenagers. So you're advertising super sugary, which sugar, like as much as like the big sugar company doesn't want you to know this, sugar is the number one like cause of most cancers. Like it's the underlying thing that like is driving most cancer. Like sugar feeds cancer, and the sugar companies have known this for fucking decades. So like,
cancer's hungry. It needs energy to produce.
Right. And so like if you have all these things like sugar, that's perfectly fucking legal. You have caffeine, perfectly fucking legal. Then why is it that we have made moral judgments on drugs that disproportionately used to be used by people of color or people that were outspoken against federal regulations that were unfair, like the war, the Vietnam War, what have you. So like, if you look at the original cause of the war on drugs, like Reagan straight up said, it's not legal for me to criminalize being Black or being against the war, but I can perfectly criminalize being a hippie or being a heroin addict and flooding those neighborhoods with those drugs. Like the crack epidemic was not on accident.
No, it was planted. Yeah, it was planted.
So the war on drugs was a war on minorities and peaceniks.
And just the war on poverty is what it was.
Yes. So if we're going to admit, like, if we can just admit it was a class and race war, which it was, that's what the war on drugs always was, then why are we still giving moral judgments for people who have addictions to the drugs that they were seeking out to try to self-medicate?
Right.
Like, just treat them the way that they need to be treated, which is with compassion, and see them as a human, which they are, and not this failing individual. And we can absolutely fix this. But rehabs don't do that. Rehabs have been shown to just be grifters. Like they are just like really expensive resorts.
Well, that's the thing, though. They said that $6 million a year would go towards drug addiction programs, but 20% would go to conservation efforts, including state parks, wildlife protections, veteran services, police training, and more. Tax revenue is anticipated to be more than $48 million by 2020.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just... did I hear correctly that some of the money of the weed is going to fund the cops?
No, to retrain them. For police training, it says probably for not arresting
the police,
people.
But like the police have been trained to do exactly what they're currently doing.
I know.
So like retraining is nothing. So what I'm hearing is we are padding their budgets with unnecessary money when we should just be defunding them.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I heard that clearly.
Definitely what it says. But they projected to bring in about $48 million annually by 2025. That's a lot of money.
I mean, look at how much money Colorado made practically overnight when they legalized it.
Probably the most progressive part of it, and the part that's maybe the closest thing to what New York is doing. Native American tribes in the state are also expected to receive sales licenses that can be used near reservations.
Okay, that's a step in the right direction. Right. They should be the first in line for those licensing if I had my way. But, you know. Well, I'm out here with my progressive values.
But of course, there are some Republican legislators who come out against legalization and have vowed to challenge the ballot measure. And it says the measure has a provision that would nullify the law if the ballot initiative is ultimately struck down in court, like Mia was saying earlier. So the powers that be still have an out. They still have an out, these motherfuckers.
They can still pull a Florida.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that's not a compliment, Florida.
It's never a compliment, Florida. Get your
Florida's
shit
never been a
together.
compliment too much.
And wear
Well,
fucking
Florida.
masks. God damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck Florida.
But
Damn.
Montana, man, I mean, talk about fertile grounds. Let's have Let's have fields out there that go from corn to make cornstarch to make the Mountain Dew, converted to hops, weed, hemp.
Well, the
That's the whole
problem is
industry.
like it needs to be federally regulated, because if it like every other fucking crop, it really needs to be regulated in the sense that like you can't you don't want to dedicate too many fields to one crop, and especially because marijuana fields produce heat. If you have too many people growing marijuana both indoors, which it requires immense amounts of electricity to grow indoors, or outdoors, which is actually the plant itself producing more heat, it's going to be really difficult to manage CO2 productions and like heat output if we don't do it mindfully. And the only way to do that mindfully is to federally legalize it. But again, let me get off my soapbox.
That's the thing, guys. We have to hold the people in power to put their feet to the coals and say, hey, man, you guys are creating all these problems that states trying to figure out when the federal government needs to deregulate it, period. 100%. That's one. Okay. Okay, guys, it's time to give Trump credit for something he did right. He was right for the wrong reasons. He legalized federally hemp.
Hemp should be able to be used, and like he was probably very stupid in why he did it.
Yeah,
but
he's right for the wrong reasons. Yeah.
Again, right for the wrong reasons, but like hemp is so much safer to use in a lot of ways. Like it's so much more sustainable, and it's so much stronger than paper. There's so many reasons to use hemp, and the only reason that we haven't is for stupid reasons.
Cultural reasons. That's it. Cultural. That's it. Because hemp can make paper that is more durable, long lasting, and more yield per acre.
Yes.
It's also really good at carbon capture.
Not to mention you're not affecting how many trees, you're not cutting down as many trees, so you're not taking a dip in the CO2 scrubbing that the trees are doing. There's so much good stuff. There's so much good stuff.
And Mia, you said it captures CO2?
So there was this there's a block of it or something. I read about an experiment that they were doing. This is a while ago, and I'm probably going to need to recheck my facts and such now that I'm thinking about it. But there was a block of hemp that they made that they could insert into the ocean, and it would like suck up pollutants and carbon from there. You know,
revisit that. That'd be cool to look into that.
That's really cool.
There's hemp bricks, guys. Hemp bricks that they can build houses out of.
Yes. You can use hemp for everything. And that's the thing. It's one of the most sustainable plants on the planet. You can use hemp for clothes, and hemp clothes are so durable and easy to wash and wear.
Replace plastics.
You can make ropes. You can replace plastic. There's so many things you can use hemp for. And the fact that it has been illegal to use is just
because of a culture war. Just because of a culture war. That's it. But yeah, so Montana's trying to do the right thing. And they're trying to use the money as best they see fit, which is, we have to agree with all of it. That's for sure. But at least they're trying to move in the right direction. That's all we can ask for progress. Just scooch over just a little bit of time. We can work with you guys. But if you're going to keep pulling the opposite direction of reality, we can't. So hopefully we can have like a revolution of deregulation of controlled substances, and then have an increased regulation on environmental stuff to protect this planet. Because if all these benefits that can come from hemp, marijuana, and all the other things that we can do, especially for environmental things with production, when like you said, plastics replacements, clothing, paper's a big one.
Huge.
We could start mending this planet we've destroyed slowly. So guys, let us know what you think about that in the comments section. If anybody lives in Montana, let us know what you think about it in your neighborhood. Would you like to see marijuana farms? Would you like to see hemp fields? $48 million a year in tax
It's
revenue.
a lot of money. Like up in Northern California, when they have to do like when it's harvest time, they were calling trimmers in from all across the country, like, yo, come trim for us.
Right.
We need people. So like imagine how many people, because this is something that they can't really automate. You have to do it by hand. So it fixes so many problems.
Yes.
Yep. And make sure to push back on your senators there. If you're in Montana, stop them from doing what Florida did.
Yes.
There's still time for you. There's still time.
There's hope for Montana. Come on, guys. We believe in you. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think about that in the comment section. And while you're here, of course, give the video a like. And while you're here, hit the subscribe button, ring notification bell, blah, 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 blah. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. And like always, gang, gang.